morning. It is Thursday. I hope you are ready for a fantastic day because a couple things I want to talk to you about today. First one is a little bit of selling technique that I think will help you to just continuously stay in that mode of you are a salesperson, you're a realtor, or you're a lender, whoever's watching this, or you're a title officer, or whoever is clicking on this, but ultimately we are promoting a service or a product. So you have to remember that. So a little tip, acronym COD, okay? It means not cash on delivery, but first C, communicate. You've got to be able to communicate to people. You have to be able to tell them what you do, what service you offer, and be excited about what you're doing. Because if someone says, hey, I ran into somebody at Costco the other day that I hadn't seen in like 15 years, and he's like, what are you doing? And what are you up to now? What's going on with your family? And I'm like, oh, well, I'm a loan officer. And I caught myself and I'm like, I had an opportunity right there to, be excited about what I'm doing. And regardless of what's happening in the news, I have to feel like, this is a great job that I'm in and I have something to offer people. So I was, challenged at that point to say, man, what do I think of myself and what do I think of my profession? And if I'm not excited about it, how on earth am I going to get somebody else excited about it? So keep that in mind. You have something to offer. And when you get out there and you're talking to people that you know or that, you don't know, you're a realtor. You're good at it. You know what you're doing. You've been in the business for a long time and things are good in your industry. And now is the perfect time to buy or sell a house. That's how you have to be. That's the mentality that you have to have. The other thing that you have to make sure that you're doing is observing the situations that you're in. I mean, if you're in the store, if you're in a library, if you're at the mall, whatever you're at, observe what's around you. People start talking, you have a conversation, you start dealing with somebody. At what point are you engaging that person in a conversation that will lead them down the road to know what you do? Observe the situations that you're in and know how you can, make what you have to offer a part of that conversation or part of that interaction with that person. And the last thing, D, is dedication. You have to be dedicated to what you are doing. You can't just say, okay, I'm going to go out and I'm going to do this today, and you go out and you spend 15 minutes and then you're like, this sucks, I can't do it. No one's talking to me. Then go back and talk on the phone and play solitaire again. Okay? You have to be dedicated to this. Your job is hard work. Okay? And, it's okay to work hard at what you do. And what we are accustomed to in this business is getting a referral, having someone call us and going out showing the buyer and they're approved in 10 seconds, the house closes in 20 days, blah, 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 everybody's happy and you're getting a paycheck every week. Okay? That used to happen. It's not happening anymore. It used to be you could walk up to the tree, pull all the fruit off the ground and go cash it in. Now you have to climb up the tree, you see one piece of fruit in the top of it, you fall out of the tree 7 times, finally you make it to the top, you pull it down and you're like, uh-oh, this thing's rotten, I can only use half of it, how am I going to make this work? That's the marketplace that we're in right now. So dedicate yourself to your business and work hard. The other thing I want to talk to you about today is to dispel the myth that it's very difficult to get a loan right now. It's not very difficult to get a loan. It's fairly easy to get a loan. Credit restrictions, that everybody are talking about, credit score requirements, minimum for a conventional type bank to get an FHA loan, 620, okay? That's not that bad. To go into a portfolio type FHA product where the rates aren't as competitive as your mainstream bank, but they're still good. I mean, you got 5.25% for a manufactured home at a 560 credit score. Come on, that's not that hard. Okay, 560, that's like subprime credit. Subprime lenders were doing loans at 500 and 550, and people were getting 9.5% 3 years ago. So you can get an FHA loan, 30-year fixed at 5.25% with a 560 credit score. Okay, the only trouble now is you got to prove your income. You got to, provide pay stubs, W-2s, prove that you're gainfully employed, no stated income. Okay, it's gone, guys. That's what's making it hard. All those guys who are buying houses that were in the 400 and, over 417 jumbo loans, big, huge, fat loans with super low interest rates and interest only, all that stuff, gone. Why? Because those people didn't make their payments. It's really not that hard to understand. They're not paying. Okay, so who paid? Those people who proved their income, proved they had a job, and they can purchase a house they can afford. Okay, it's not rocket science, so it's not that difficult. So get that out of your head that it's hard to get a loan. I've heard that probably 15 times in the last 2 days, and it's starting to irritate me because when I got into this business, guidelines were very difficult. 20% down was common, and if you couldn't put 20% down, you got a gift from your family, or the owner carried a contract, and you came back and you refinanced that guy 3 or 4 years later. That's how the business was when I first started. Now you need 3.5% down. In a lot of cases, no money down if you're a veteran or if you're going to buy in a USDA geographical area. So, and with no mortgage insurance. So it is not that difficult to get a loan. So forget about that and stop using that as an excuse. Loans are pretty easy to get right now. The difficult part about getting a loan is getting it closed, okay? With all the regulations that are out there, with all of the additional conditions that banks are asking for now, that's the tough part. So the borrower has to be prepared to provide additional documentation. Even if you've got W-2s and pay stubs, well, what if your income went down from 2007 to 2008? Your income went down. Boom, a whole nother area of conditions are opened up that the lenders are going to ask for now. So that's what is tough, is the documentation of what is going on in closing a loan. So we can work through that. It's really not that difficult. But get that myth out of your head. It's tough to get a loan right now. Also, yesterday I had a call to action. Make sure that you're signing up petitions. Make sure you check out the Realtor website and do your part in getting these bills passed. It may not seem like you have an influence. It may not seem like your one petition may matter or your one email to your legislator may matter. But man, if it's just that one, that set of words that you put together, that 6 or 7 words in your message, that pops out in that guy's mind, that changes his mind, that's where grassroots works, okay? Government has been put in place to be the voice of the people, okay? And if you remember in school when you read the Constitution, the government has power because the people gave the government power. Now, as we vote in those legislators, they have the power to make the changes. Now, what happens is if we don't let our voices be heard, those legislators just get to make their own decisions. They just say, well, I wonder what is good for me. I wonder what's going to benefit my pocketbook. I wonder what incentives I'm going to get. I wonder what sweetheart loan I'm going to get from Countrywide if I vote this direction. And they forget about the voice of the people who put them there in the first place. So do your part, contact your representative, and make sure that your voice is being heard. Okay? Do that. Also, check out that referral section and the poll question. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about, the market and where we stand and where I believe that we should be focusing our attention. Because there will always be move up buyers and sideways buyers and relocators and all those guys, but the first time home buyer is where it's at right now, guys. We got to focus on that, and that's where we got to spend a lot of our marketing time and a lot of our time and our thoughts about where we are going to direct our business over the next few months. So anyway, thanks for clicking, thanks for watching. I would encourage you to email me. The phone call thing, it works. Sometimes you can get a hold of me, sometimes you can't. But man, email's the way to go. And again, hey, I appreciate everybody's comments. I got like hundreds of emails yesterday about the little rampage I went on about what's going on with the legislation. So mostly everybody agreed. I didn't really have anybody that disagreed. But, it sounds like most people out there are fed up with what's going on. So let your voice be heard. See you tomorrow.
Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, and the dreams that you dream of